Hi, I'm Nicole. In my last presentation, I talked about the moss sculpture on campus, and today I'm going to talk about the brochure I created for it. Here's my full brochure laid out, pages 3, 6, and 1. The color scheme I chose to go with is green and purple, with different shades of that throughout. And here's my other 3 pages, 2, 4, and 5, I kept with the same color scheme. Overall ideas, I chose a brochure because I had a lot of information I wanted to give the viewer, and I thought a poster would be very overwhelmed with all the information I wanted to put on it, so I decided to do a brochure so I could break up information per page. The font I chose was an effort to avoid being boring with the boring Comic Sans font. I wanted to have readable font, but yet I wanted to have a little flair or something like that, and I think I chose the font to do that such thing. The pictures I chose to fade into the background of certain pages because I wanted the pictures to be there and I wanted you to be able to see them, but I didn't want it to overtake anything. So I put pictures with text over them because you could still see the picture and you could still read the text that was over the picture, but it wasn't just a full picture or a full page of text. It was a mix of both. Green and purple I chose to contrast each other because they're on opposite sides of the color wheel. And then a decent amount of my font on this brochure is black because black is the easiest to read font, but certain pages do have some purple font as well. I chose less text and spaced it out to not seem as overwhelming. I didn't want the reader to feel like they were reading my essay over again. I wanted to pick specific info that I felt was most important, and in turn, that was less text, so it didn't seem as overwhelming to the reader to read all the text on the pages. Here's page 1. There's multiple fonts, as you can see, the green and the purple colors. And then there's rhombus-like green shapes that go throughout all the pages, and I thought that just made them flow very well and incorporated all the pages together. Then as you can see, as I was talking about, I faded the picture into the background, but there is the full picture of the sculpture. Page 2, I used this circular model to describe what I was talking about so the reader didn't necessarily have to just focus on the words. They could see the green circle in the middle. There's bigger words or underlined words to emphasize certain things in my second paragraph on this page, as the word hidden or the 2 words certain angles. Those were they stood out to me, so I wanted to incorporate some ideas of hierarchy with popping certain words. And the purple title creates the balance to the green on the page because I didn't just want to have green and black. I wanted to still incorporate the purple throughout every single page. Page 3, there's pictures to emphasize the materials and location I was talking about. I zoomed in on certain pictures, and I think it created this nice balance between just facts and pictures. As you can see, the green shape is also still showing up throughout this page because I wanted it to show up on every page to create unity. Pages 4 and 5 are meant to be seen together. So as you can see, it's a full page instead of full 1 page instead of 2. I used these bubbles to describe what I was talking about in the text quicker, and I used the arrows to show connections between the bubbles. And I think overall this is very nice on the eye because instead of just seeing text, you see these fun little bubbles with fun little drawings in it talking about what I'm talking about. And the spacing of the text, I think, makes it seem like there's less text because there is a lot behind this, history behind this. And I think separating them and putting them on opposite corners was a good idea because it made the text seem less. And here's page 6. I finished it off with a quote to describe my thinking. And I used the method of hierarchy as I put the 2 quotation marks a lot bigger than the text in the middle because I wanted to emphasize something on this page. I didn't want it to be just a boring quote. That's why I also used the purple font because I wanted it to have a fun little flair to end it off. And then at the bottom, we can see that in plain text, I put my sources for everything that I found. I picked out the more interesting facts about my sculpture from my essay. I didn't want to overwhelm everyone with boring facts they didn't really want to know because this brochure was about describing it to someone who would want to go see it. So overall, I just wanted to create the intriguing facts to make someone go and see it. I excluded the boring facts and the non-essential information, such as like my interpretation, my evaluation thinking, does it do a good job? That was not needed here. I just thought the history and like unique design and like the general info was needed, but nothing much more. I presented my information to include audiences from college students who are living on campus to older people who might want to visit the campus for all its art. I was not that surprised to discover anything new about myself in relation to design because I am a design student, so I work with using hierarchy and color schemes and all that in all my work in design. So overall, this project was actually pretty easy for me and I didn't struggle very much with it. Thank you.